Hey, it's Phil, and I wanted to demonstrate how in RacketHub you can effectively create dashboards and make things very easy for people involved to seamlessly submit data to databases. And in fact, I've already created a bunch of databases and dashboards, but the dashboards I think are just a much easier way of submitting relevant updates. And in this example, I want to cover what happens when you are looking at your ePub files. So you'd be crazy these days, really for the last 15 years, not to do an ePub. But here's the big difference between an ePub and a galley. Your designer will create the InDesign file and submit it as a PDF to you, and then you could put in comments, annotations, boxes, whatever you want, and those are all in one file. ePubs, though, don't work that way. So you're going to be able to share this with your client or use this yourself. And let's say that you want to look at the current ePub file. Now that's, again, very easy to do. You would have received the notification when the ePub conversion specialist submitted one. Let's just hold that off for the time being. If I go to the ebook page here and I look at the ePub files and I see here that, yes, there is one submitted on the 5th. And here is the file. I'm going to download that file here. I'm going to save it on my desktop. And 9 JPEG or something. Okay. So that now is on my desktop. And this is just one short page from my book, The 9. I'm going to now open that up on my desktop, and that went over to the other screen. So let's get rid of that. And let's say that this font is too big. So I'm going to use my screen capture tool called Shutter, but you can use really whatever you like. And I'm going to take this screenshot here, and I'm going to say this is too big, but I'm going to make it very easy for the ePub conversion specialist to see what's going on. I'm going to save this on my desktop, and you can see that that file is right here, and you can leave it here if you want. I'm just going to put too big. If I go back to RacketHub, close out of this, let's go back to my dashboard, and I'm going to submit a new ebook issue. Now again, I can go straight to the database, but the whole point of this video is to show you that it's actually very easy to do without even going to the database natively. So if I click new ebook issue, this is going to create a form for us, and we're just going to populate that form. So to the extent that the designer may have created multiple versions and hopefully fix them, in my experience, it usually takes 2, maybe 3, depending on the length and the complexity of the book, versions to get it right. I'm going to click here, and this is the current version, the most recent one. And what's the issue? The font is too big. Should be too smaller. Oops, that's the wrong field. See attached or something. You can be as creative as you want here. I'm going to paste this in, and this is a font issue. And now here's the most important thing, and you won't see page number here. Page number makes sense if we're talking about a galley, a PDF, page 30, page 40, whatever. But as you know, there really is no page number when it comes to ePubs, because you can shrink the space between the lines, you can shrink the font, you can increase the font, you can change the margins. Again, page number is irrelevant. So if I click here, I'm going to go and upload this. And now, any notes here, see attached if I want, but that is optional. So I'm going to click submit here, and I can look at my response if I want. If I want an email copy, I could get that. But I'm just going to look at my response, and this is actually in the database here, right? So if I made a typo or a mistake or wanted to put in some more information, I could do that. But the beauty is here that I didn't have to go to the database to do that. I can require individual fields. And if I went back here, I can see here that the font is too big. I was testing this earlier. This is, maybe we've got several issues going on. But the key thing here that I'd like to tell you about is that we now have a new notification. Now I have this, why? Because in RH18, which we've talked about in a previous video, I have myself set up as the ebook conversion specialist. So anytime somebody submits an issue, whether it's a proofreader or an editor or the client or even me, I'm going to get that notification. And again, that notification, you don't have to do anything about here. This is all configured right here with the variables, which all stem from RH18. So as long as you populate RH18, this is going to work without having to do any coding or anything like that. So we could go back to our dashboard. We can continue to look at our ePub, but the whole point here is that through the dashboards, we can make life a lot simpler for our clients.